Hello and welcome back to the Satoshi Society YouTube channel. My name is AJ, one of the co-hosts here, and today we are going to talk about non-farm payrolls, and we're going to be taking a look at the price of Bitcoin and a quick look at Ethereum as well. Still nothing too exciting happening with the price of Bitcoin. A little bit of volatility coming in because of the non-farm payrolls coming out and the unemployment rate coming out as well. So that's going to bring a bit of volume in, but we're still not seeing all of that volume come back in that we saw prior to Christmas. So the market is still very, very boring at this time. But yeah, we're going to get straight on into the video. So please make sure you smash a like on this video, and yeah, I do really appreciate it. It really helps the channel out, and we'll get straight on into the video. So looking at this here, we can see that the non-farm payrolls did come out about 17 minutes ago. We've had the non-farm payrolls come out and the unemployment rate. So non-farm payrolls came out at 223,000, and it was actually forecasted for 200k. I'm going to talk a little bit about this as well, but unemployment rate came in actually under expected, so it came in at 3.5, but the forecast was 3.7. So taking a look at the charts, non-farm payrolls, if it came in higher than expected, this is going to be bad for the market. Looking at the charts, we can see that we did get some price action towards the downside. However, if we go, let's have a look on the smaller time frames. Let's go to the 15 minutes. So we did actually, have a bit of price action towards the downside, but then we are slowly recovering. But initially coming in higher than forecasted is actually fairly bad for the market. We want to see, we don't want to see people having jobs. I know it sounds bad, but we don't want to see people having jobs. We don't want to see new jobs coming in. This is, if we see this is bad for the market, and the Fed wants to reduce the amount of jobs as well. But yeah, what can explain it perfectly is actually this right here. And what it says is, where is it here? So the headline, NFP, which is non-farm payroll, results must print far below projections in order to prevent a negative reaction in risk assets, including cryptocurrency. Okay, so we wanted to come in lower than projected. Okay, projected was 200k, but we've come in actually higher than projected. So this is not actually good for the market, and we are seeing a little push towards the upside. I think there's more uncertainty rather than the price pushing towards the upside, but initially this is not good, and this is just another reason why I think the market is going to have another leg towards the downside. It also goes on to say here, investors should wait till the number drops below 200k before assuming the labor market has loosened enough to support risk on rise, as in risk on assets becoming risk on, as in investors are going to be investing into risky assets. Instead, expect outcomes to lead to subdued to mildly negative price action. Okay, so this is saying if we're not going to come in below 200k, we are still going to see negative price action. Now, we haven't seen that as of yet. And there's a few reasons why we might not have seen this. Again, we're pretty close to that forecast, but we're still pretty far away from it. But yeah, still the volatility isn't within the market. I feel like everyone just isn't back to where they were before Christmas, because over the course of Christmas, we know that the price did not move. The price hardly moved over the course of Christmas and New Year's. Okay, and we want that volatility to come back in, so we can start making those trades. We can start seeing the price actually move, whether it's towards the upside or towards the downside. For me, it's looking more likely it's going to be towards the downside, especially with the non-farm payrolls coming out higher than expected. Unemployment rate as well. For the market to see any uprise, we want to see unemployment rate to be quite high. However, the previous unemployment rate was 3.6, and we're actually 3.5. So we're going unemployment rate is going lower, which again is not good for the markets. We want to see high unemployment rate, and they forecasted 3.7, but we've come under that. So that's also not going to be good for the markets either, and we are going to most likely see a pullback from here. But right now I feel like there's a lot of uncertainty, but also I feel like everyone is not back to where they were. Not everyone is back in the markets. People taking a break, and yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But right now, still nothing really happening for the price of Bitcoin. This is sort of the major news today, and it hasn't really moved the price at all. I thought it would. I thought it would bring a bit of volatility into the markets, and potentially it's brought a little bit, but not enough to move the market massively. So we'll have to see over the course of today, maybe tomorrow as well. Well, it's Friday today, I'm pretty sure. It is Friday, isn't it? Yeah, so it's Friday. The weekend is going to be very boring, as it always is. I say this a lot. A year and a half ago, the markets would move quite heavily on the weekend. However, they don't anymore because the institutions are in, and the institutions do not trade on the weekends. So, that's why we don't see the volatility on the weekends like we used to. But yeah, so it's Friday. We're gonna have a very boring weekend. We'll see how today goes. If there is any movement, of course, I will come live and I will talk you through it. But if there is going to be any movement today, I would expect it to be towards the downside because, as I said, non-farm payrolls coming in higher than forecasted. This is bad for the markets. Okay, I've gone through it here. It says it right here. Investors should wait until numbers drop below 200K before assuming the labor market has loosened enough to support a risk on rise, as in investors invest into risk on assets. So yeah, no, this is the major sort of headline today, and it hasn't really moved the market at all. Ethereum, same story. Ethereum, it's not moving. Ethereum is very correlated to Bitcoin right now because there's a lot of uncertainty. When there's a lot of uncertainty, we do tend to see Ethereum become very correlated to Bitcoin. Because even people investing into Ethereum are very skeptical and they're waiting for Bitcoin to move to see, what they're going to do with Ethereum. Are they going to buy? Are they going to sell? So that is sort of what's going on. Still very, very boring right now. We just want that volatility to kick in, because once that volatility kicks in, we can begin to start trading. We can begin to start trading again. That's what I want to do. I want to start bringing you trades like I was prior to Christmas. We made some really successful trades before Christmas. Some of them even being over 100% in a profit. So I want to bring more of those to you, but we need that volatility to come in. If the volatility is not coming in, we can't make those trades because the price just is not moving. Let's go through some comments. Counter Junior, I am in a trade with a short. Help me. What price did you enter that short position? There's a potential short position up here, from around sort of 16,900. I didn't really look at entering it because there wasn't really enough confluence for me to be happy with that. But, with this non-farm payroll coming out, it's bad for the market. Ben agrees as well. It's not good for the market with a non-farm payroll coming in higher. So I would expect the price to pull back. Okay, if you are in a short, I am expecting that price to pull back. But that shorting opportunity would have been at these higher levels up here. But I'm not really looking at this smaller range here. I was looking at this bigger range. I want to trade this bigger range because this is where the big returns come when we're trading these bigger ranges. But right now, we're just not seeing that volatility coming in to help us trade that. Zsharbuts, good to see you back here. Cryptinvest, good to see you back here. Yeah, please make sure you smash that like button. Cryptinvest always comes through with that. Make sure you smash that like button. It does really help the channel out, does really help me out, and it's free as well. Short Ethereum 50x, take profit 1050. Okay, 50x. To be honest with you, I could never trade with 50x. I could never go over 10x. I've told people this before. I never ever trade with more than 5x leverage within a bear market. In a bull market, potentially I will go to 10x leverage, but that is at the maximum. I will never. You've got to apply risk. I remember when I first got into crypto, I would trade with, it's not as bad as 50x, but I would trade with 25x leverage, and I wiped out 2 accounts doing that. So, I've learned from my mistakes. I trade with a lot lower leverage, and in the long run, it's more profitable trading with lower leverage because, when you make a mistake with high leverage, you make a big, 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 big mistake. But when you make a mistake with low leverage, it's only a very small mistake, but the returns are a lot bigger than, the losses. So, it's actually more profitable in the long run trading with lower leverage. Take it from me. I've been trading for 3 years. I've been through it all. Okay. I've worked out 2 accounts. I've traded with high leverage. And I've also tripled, quadrupled an account with trading with a low with low leverage. So I feel like I'm a perfect example. Trade with low leverage. It's a lot safer and it's a lot more profitable in the long run. Good news is bad news these days. Yeah, true. That is very true. But looking at this is just bad news in general. So um, yeah, good news is bad news at this time. Yeah. Um, I'm in a short. Is it good or to be honest, obviously I can't give financial advice, but if you're in a short, to be honest with you, I think that's good. Non-farm payrolls come out higher than expected. This is bad. I've gone through this with you twice now, so I won't go through it again. I won't bore you, but it's not good for the market. So I am expecting a pullback, and if we do see the price push up, then still I would expect a pullback. Okay, if we saw a slight push towards the upside, I would still expect a pullback because it's not good for the market. The market is just looking very, very bearish right now, and then adding this on top of it as well, it's not good. Okay, in the next 7 days, we've got core inflation rate year over year as well, inflation rate year over year, and the Michigan consumer sentiment coming out as well. These are going to move the markets as well. So we've got 12th of Jan, 13th of Jan. Maybe we can get volatility. If we don't get volatility up until that point, then maybe that will, be the kickstarter of volatility. But again, non-farm payrolls coming in higher than expected, bad for the market. So I would expect the price to pull back. So if you're in a short, then to be honest with you, it's not financial advice, but I think it's good. I entered at $16,800. Okay, so very close to that entry point. For me, I'm not just going to enter into a trade because I feel like it or because I, predict where the market is going to go. Non-farm payrolls coming out. I think that's bad for the market. I could enter a short, but I don't. That's not how I trade. That's not how I've been profitable in the past. Okay, I've been profitable in the past because I've stuck to my rules. I've got a list of rules. Okay, I only trade with the strategies that I have. Okay, and I never ever FOMO into a trade. If I miss a trade, okay, we move on. We move on to the next trade. Okay, when I get a signal to enter a trade, you have to enter that trade there and then, or if there is a retest, you can get in on the second entry. Okay, but you never ever FOMO into a trade, never ever FOMO into anything. That is one of my rules. That's one of the rules at the top of my list. So for me right now, I'm not going to enter a trade. If I was going to enter a trade, it would have sort of been around up here, but there wasn't enough confluence really for me. We were above value area high. We did have a bearish divergence coming in. We had price action forming lower lows, as you can see right there, and then RSI was forming higher highs. And then I was sort of looking for a horizontal level, and we could have said that we had some sort of horizontal level coming in here. But to be perfectly honest with you, it wasn't really a solid horizontal level. I would like to see the level be respected a little bit more. I guess it was respected and we could have entered at this level. But I just didn't see it wasn't, a solid entry for me like the previous ones have been. But yeah, that if I was going to enter one of these trades, it would have been up here at sort of $16,900 right now. Even though non-farm payrolls is come out higher than expected, and that's bearish, I'm not going to FOMO into this trade. But yeah, for me, if you're in a trade, if you're in a short right now, not financial advice, but I think it's the right thing to do because non-farm payrolls have come out higher than expected. We're also getting rejected from this value area high here on the technicals, so we could see value area low being hit, so $16,500. If I were in a trade from up here, again, I was trading this, then I would be looking at taking profit at 16,550. Yeah, around that area. So value area low, that would be a take profit for me. And then around $16,350 would be that second take profit. First take profit, second take profit. That's what I would be looking at. And then potentially having that third take profit. So just leaving a little bit extra in to see how much lower it goes, because the market is still looking very, very bearish. Okay, thank you, sir. I will so same regarding leverage. Do the same regarding leverage. Yeah. Never, ever. I never would say trade with more than 10x leverage at the max, and even 10x leverage, that's pushing it for me. I'd only trade with 10x leverage in a bull market, but in a bear market, I would only trade with 5x leverage. In the long run, it is a lot safer. And we've got a course coming out, and I talk about this as well. I'm going to be talking about my experience, my story through trading. I've been I've been trading for 3 years. Okay, I've lived through it all. If you follow the channel, you know that I talk about this a lot. I've wiped out 2 accounts. Okay, and I've from there, I've learned a lot, and I've moved on to quadrupling accounts. Okay, and that's by setting rules, sticking to your strategy, and using low leverage as well. Um, Shorts will get burnt this weekend. To be honest with you, I don't agree with that. If you're in a short, and if the price, if the short doesn't go your way, the only way it's going to go is sideways. Okay, over the weekends, every single weekend. Okay, recently we have seen this. The price does not move on a weekend. A year and a half ago, okay, yes, the price would move massively on the weekends, but on the weekends now, the price does not move. And I'm always a bit skeptical getting into a trade on a Friday or even on a weekend, because I know that the price is not going to move. So it's going to be a very long and boring weekend, and you're going to be wasting money on fees as well. So for me, if it's a Friday and there's a trade entry, depending how strong the trade entry is, will depend if I'm trading it or not. If it's a weak one, then I wouldn't enter it, because I know the weekend's going to be very, very flat. The weekends are also are always very flat, and we know this because there are a lot of institutions in the market. As I said, a year and a half ago, there weren't as many institutions in the market, and it was mainly made up of big whales or retail traders. Okay, and a lot of the retail traders could never trade during the week because they had a full-time job. So when did they trade? They traded on the weekends, and that's why we used to see big movements on the weekends. But now that we've got big institutions in, and they are the big market movers, we don't tend to see movement on the weekends at all. You are wrong. I'm in a long for the weekend. Okay. If you're in a long, I wish you luck with that. I would be more short than long right now. I couldn't see actually entering into a long position right now. We've hit value area high here. Every time we hit this value area high, okay, we come down to that value area low. So that's what I'm expecting. And the icing on the cake, the cherry on top is non-farm payrolls coming out as well today. That's coming higher than expected. That's bad for the market. So for me, it's looking more bearish. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll be laddering into a short from 17,200 if we go higher. Yeah, that's my plan. That's my plan as well. Let's go on to the 8 hour. So yeah, if we do become bullish, okay, and we do see the price come up, I would start for me, I would start laddering in, around $17,200, but $17,260 would be where I start laddering in. And obviously I want to see a bearish divergence or of some sort. If the price was to come up here, then I would expect it to come a bit higher, form some sort of bearish divergence, hit some sort of horizontal level, maybe a previous high here, previous high here. We'll have to see if the price does come up here. But if the price comes up here, I'm looking for a short, and I'll be shorting all the way up to potentially $18,120, having my stop loss above there. And then I would expect that price to pull back. Vice versa, if the price comes down here to sort of 15,000, 16,000, even 15,500, I'm going to be looking for a long position and riding that up here if I see the longing opportunities. I'm not going to just enter a trade up here or down here. I'm not going to enter a short here or a long here just for the sake of it. I need to look for that confluence. I need to look for, if I'm entering short here, I need to look for a bearish divergence, and I need to look for a horizontal level being hit, and we need to be above that value area high. That's 3 bits of confluence. That's worked tremendously for us in the past 10 trades we've made in the past 3.5 months ish, and 8 of them were winning, 2 of them were losing. 80% win rate. It's a really, really good, a really, really good streak. And by doing so, I've done that by sticking to those rules, and those rules are sticking to looking for the confluence and 3 bits of confluence. So I wouldn't enter a trade here for the sake of it. I need to look for that confluence to enter that trade. I'm going to mark this video and come back and tell you are wrong. Okay, yeah. Futures are green. Let's have a little look. Yeah, futures are green, but also we're seeing Bitcoin push towards the upside as well. But to be honest with you, I just think there's a bit of uncertainty, and we're coming into Friday. What's the time? 2 o'clock. We'll see. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. We could see the price push towards the upside. Please do come back. Please do come back. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. For me, it's just looking more bearish. I'm not, and be careful with what you're advising people. I'm not advising people anything. I'm not a financial advisor here. I'm just giving you what I think is going to happen. And, with the fundamentals and the technicals, for me, it's just looking more bearish than bullish right now. I could be wrong. And, like my trades, okay, we've made 10 trades. I've taken 10 trades. I've shown every single one of them on this live stream. Okay. I've been live every single time I've opened the trade. I've showed you the profits, and I've showed you me taking profits as well. 8 of them are winning trades. 2 of them are losing trades. You can't win every trade. It's almost impossible to win in every single trade. And if someone says they win every single trade, they are almost definitely lying to you. Even the best traders do. They do take losses. Okay, it's just a part of trading, but trading, you have to make sure that you win more than you lose. And with the strategy that I use, it's an 80%. Well, recently it's been an 80% win rate. So I'm looking to continue that, and I'm using that strategy here. I'm looking, the value area high has been hit of this smaller range here. We had a bearish divergence as well. And then adding into the non-farm payrolls coming in higher than expected as well. Adding into that fundamental stuff. It's just looking more bearish for me. It's looking more bearish for me. I just accumulate, waiting for Lambo 2025. Yeah, 2023. I do think 2023 could be a good year, as in, we get above 20K, we get it to 25K. But 2025, I think I agree with you there. I think that's going to be all-time highs. 2025, 2024. I think that's when we're going to get back just below all-time high. And then 2025, I think we could see the price actually start skyrocketing. But right now, accumulating. That's all we can do, and wait. It's going down. Counter J thinks it's going down as well. I do agree with you there. People are getting way too excited about this little pump. Yeah, this is what happens every single time. Every single time we have a little pump, people get really, really excited, and it is just another bull trap. Okay, every pump we see is a bull trap at this moment in time. In technicals are bearish, fundamentals are bearish. Okay, they're all telling me that we're going lower. Of course, I could be wrong. But I haven't been wrong recently. I've been telling you that the price is going to continue to go down and go down and go down, and it has been doing that. Okay, and I do think we could go down to 14,000, potentially even 12, potentially even 10. We'll have to see. But everything is just screaming bearish to me right now. So I'm gonna stay bearish. I'm not gonna flip bullish. If we see, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that flip bullish when they see a pump like this, and they get really excited, putting those clickbaity thumbnails on. Bitcoin to 21K. I've seen one, Bitcoin to 21K in January. It's possible, but likelihood of it is very low. The probabilities of that happening is very, very low, unless some major, major, major bullish news comes out. And right now, that's just not going to happen. Going to dump big time. Sarsi says it's going to dump before S&P 500 opens. Yeah, so the S&P 500 isn't open. Futures are, of course, but they are having a little push towards the upside. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to see. But this is bearish. This is bearish for us. Coming in higher than expected, higher than forecasted is bearish. I expect a pullback. 9,700 to fill CME gap. Okay, so I used to look at CME gaps quite a lot, and that they are fairly reliable. $9,700 is a possibility. We could get a wick down there. I wouldn't expect a candle break below 12,000. Just showing you quickly. I wouldn't expect a candle break below 11,450. But I think a wick down 9,700. It's a possibility. We have a major support level coming in here with this golden pocket here. Okay, between the 0.66 and the 0.618 from the previous swing low to the swing high. That's major support coming in confluence with this major support here. We've had resistance here, even support there. Resistance. We've got two major levels there. That's why I expect this to be major support. But that's a possibility. We could fill that CME gap. We don't always fill CME gaps, so it's not 100%. But a lot of the time, CME gaps can be filled. So that is a possibility. I won't disagree with you there. I think that's everything I've got for you today. Ethereum, it's exactly the same as Bitcoin. It's just waiting for Bitcoin to move. If you did enjoy this content, if you did enjoy this update, then please make sure you smash a like on this video. I would really, really appreciate it if you could smash a like. It's free. It really helps the channel out. Really helps me out, and I can continue to bring this TA to you, and I can continue to bring the trades that I bring you as well. I know we haven't been trading for the past month and a bit, but there hasn't been any trading opportunities because the price has been so flat. But once the volatility comes back in, we can go back to trading how we were trading prior to Christmas. We made 10 trades in 3 months, and 8 of them were winning, 2 of them losing. So it was a very, very good record that we had, and I'm looking to continue that score, and continue winning these trades. So make sure you smash a like if you want me to continue bringing you trades once that volatility comes in. I can't bring you a trade until that volatility comes in because the price is just not coming into our trading areas. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this live stream. If anything happens, if we see the price pump, if we see the price dump, I will come live and I will make sure I will update you with everything and update you with what I am doing if there is any trading opportunities. But other than that, I might see you tomorrow. If the price hasn't moved, then there's not really any point of giving you an update. But if the price has moved, I will of course come live to you for you and update you with that. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you smash a like on this video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn that bell notification on so you always so you never miss a trade, and you can always watch our live streams. And sometimes we've got emergency videos coming out if I do have a emergency trade that I'm entering into. So yeah, you want to make sure you hit that bell notification. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Smash that like button and see you in the next live stream. And WMJ, I'm expecting you to come back because I want to see who was right.